Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Drakensang Online. And this is a free-to-play, browser-based action MMORPG, very similar to the style like Diablo and a bunch of other games that are starting to hit the market right now. I know Battle of the Immortals was out for a while, but they just recently announced their War of the Immortals. Very similar game, but this one's based in the browser. Also very similar to the style of like RuneScape and stuff like that. But I personally don't think it has the depth, but we'll take a look and you guys can decide for yourself after you take a look. So unfortunately the game only has two character classes, which I feel is a little bit of a disappointment. You've got a Dragon Knight and a Spellweaver, pretty basic. You've got a Mage and a Warrior, pretty simple stuff. So we're going to go ahead and create our we're actually going to create a male Spellweaver. And let's see what kind of hair options we have. Looks like we've got a few hair options there. So it looks like, and each time your hair at top changes, you've got some different hair types as far as your face. So we'll just leave it like that. And basically body type, you've got big, medium, or small. We're going to go with the big guy. Let's go ahead and name our character. And let's go with Limpy and create. Name already exists. Fantastic. So let's go with our other staple. Name already exists there. Alright. So let's try a shorter version of it. There we go. So we're in. So let's go ahead and click around a little bit before we get into all of the interface stuff. So this is essentially real basic structure as far as your quests and stuff like that are concerned. She's got an exclamation point. It's blue. It's not yellow, but means she's got a quest. So she's got a quest for us. We need to go talk to somebody, and so we're going to cruise off. Now, one thing I can tell you that's really funny, and you'll see here in a little bit, is the game is updated all the time. But one thing about the game that's pretty interesting is they don't translate everything all at once. So they recently did a bunch of updates and added a bunch of quests and these mini dungeons and stuff like that. But you'll see when we get to those items, the quests and the mini dungeons and all of that good jazz, that they're actually not translated. Now, not a huge deal, but you figure they're in German, so it's not like I guess you could say it's a very common language, but, you know, hey, whatever. If they don't want to translate it right away and they want to take their time, not that big of a deal. So we're going to complete our first quest, and we're going to pick up another one. We need to go confront some goblin thugs, and these guys are up in this region right here, so we're going to cruise off in that direction and take them out. Now, we do have just this one skill, and it looks pretty powerful right now. It's taking out all these little gremlin robbers pretty easy, pretty quick. The game doesn't have you, it does have you smash some stuff, but it also has you just basically open stuff up. You also have your typical little healing spheres that you just walk over when you're hurt, and they heal you. And those are in addition to these potions that you have right here. So you're able to walk over those little spheres, which you can also come in both varieties, whether it be health or mana. And they also have the potions. So we'll run into our first boss, this gremlin thug. And there we go. He had a bunch of stuff. He also had her amulet. And let's open this box because it probably has an item I can use. Or it has nothing. So you have to love it when there's a box right there and you think you're going to get treasure and it doesn't have anything. Now you can open C and that'll open up your character menu. As you can see, really, really basic as far as its layout and style. One thing that I have to say is I wish the graphics were a little bit better. I know it's a browser-based game, but I think they could have done a little bit better job, especially with the different engines that are out there that have different capabilities as far as these engines are concerned. But they do have little stuff like these butterflies flying around, and the backgrounds and stuff are really lush and actually pretty and pretty good looking as far as that's concerned. It's just some of the actual like character art and things like that. Now this is one thing that I wanted to point out. So there's a few different things that will drop, like these crystals of truth, but then you also have these Andermant, and these Andermant drop, and as you can see, that's the actual game's virtual currency. So you can grind away to get the game's virtual currency and not have to actually spend any money. So that's kind of a cool little feature, but you also have different things, like you have these essences, this essence of ice, lightning, fire, and which is both arcane, essentially. So where that comes into play is when you bring up your skills, each of these skills fall under a different one of these, and to use that skill you have to have this essence, and if you're out of the essence then you can't use the skill. Now on top of that you also have to have mana. So now you can pay for with virtual currency and get little orbs that will replenish all of these, or you can find them on the ground as you're actually taking stuff out. So they do have a lot of opportunity if you're okay with just grinding away, for you to be able to get a lot of the game's things that are essentially things that you have to buy with virtual currency. So that part's pretty cool, but I have to tell you, it's a serious grind to be able to get some of that stuff. So, I mean, I've taken out a few monsters, and here's another little boss monster, a little witch. These witches can be a pain in the ass later on in the game, especially because they run away from you, and that can be a little bit of a bear. So, there we go. There's some of the Essence of Fire, which we didn't use. We also picked up an item, and as you can see, you're going to see how these Crystals of Truth work. This right here is an unidentified item. We're going to go ahead and right-click it. It gives us our little magnifying glass, identify the item. As you can see, we're going to equip it right there with a little double click, and you can see it's got gem slots to be able to enhance it. So you do have a pretty in-depth enhancement system with gems, and also being able to give different items pluses and stuff like that. So we're heading into our first urban area, or our first town, so to say. And here we go. Let's cruise in here. You've got your two different trainers. Here's the Dragon Knight trainer, and here's actually my trainer, the Spellweaver. She has a quest for us, Spellweaver support, so we want to talk to this guy. Okay. But let's take a look at the skills we have. So we have this skill available. We just click on it, hit learn. We now have a Magic Blast available, and you can see it's become available for our right click. Now once we get a third skill, we can place that in here, and we can adjust some of these around, or we can hotkey them, all that different stuff, so you can make them available. A lot of times you want to have your different offensive type skills here, and usually your buffs and stuff like that in your hotkeys. Makes it pretty easy to use those. Now one thing that you want to note is that you don't move around with anything but point and click, so it's your typical point and click run around, just like all these other Diablo style games. I know I'm using the Diablo style, but it's an easy reference that everybody pretty much knows. So we're going to pick up some more quests here, and you can see how kind of that whole functionality works. One thing that I do like is that you move around, and the quests here that are just having you run around, if you look, the town is all very, very compact. So you're not having to run just endlessly. I know recently I reviewed another game, and it was just like running endlessly between different vendors and different stuff like that to actually complete quests. And I think that was so silly. Why not have them just close by? I mean, all that open space just seems ridiculous. So here we can upgrade a spell. We can drop an item in there. We don't have any to drop in there. And then we've got our Essence Trader. So we can go here, view the selection. And this is where you can use, like I said, you can use the Intermint and pick up different Essence of Lightnings, and they'll replenish, 500 of them, and that'll drop right in there when you need it. But you know what, let's head outside and take care of some of these quests and show you guys some of the new features that actually recently just went in. Now first of all, let's take a look at this guy. This is what I was talking about. So you see, his name is Sullivan, but the whole quest dialogue is completely not translated. So I have no clue what I'm supposed to do here. I'm guessing it's something in Darbmore, and something for Sullivan. I don't know German. I know a little bit, not enough to get me by here. So let's go ahead and accept. And you know what? We'll probably figure it out, because there'll be some some question marks when I go back to town. But let's go kill some stuff first using our new skill. And usually I run into a bunch of monsters by now. I have no clue why I haven't yet. There we go. Here's some undead warriors. Let's back away. Let's use our magic blast on them. You can see they're all dropping some different items, and I think we only need one of those. Let's go ahead and take a look. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. And who knows? Maybe that's it. But I don't know exactly what I need. Search in the West for a clue about undead warriors. So I got the clue. Deliver it to Father Prescus in Grimford. So I actually got it. I don't need all the rest of these. So we're just gonna pick up those Crystals of Truth. No need to pick up the other quest items that are not necessary, and just blog up my my backpack. So let's take some more of these undead warriors out. Let's see if we can level up again. So we want this potion, copper, spear. Let's see if we can find some other guys. We need to find some pea cutter guys. They're around here somewhere. But that's one thing that I can tell you is there we go. These guys are dropping the items that I need. So there we go. Take that guy out. So essentially I can't use my other skill right now, so I'm having to use this one because I have used up all the mana. But I have tons of mana potions, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and drop a mana potion and take all of these undead warriors out. The nice thing is in any of these games that have just tons and tons of monsters coming at you all at once, anytime you can get the area of effect skills going, that's always the best, because they just they do so much damage. So it looks like we've got a couple of other guys up there. We're going to leave them alone, let them do their hunting, and we're going to head up in this direction. Let's take a look at the map. As you can see, completely open. This is a Smuggler's Cave. It's one of the new mini dungeons, but I can't get in there right now. Well, I guess I could. We can go down there, because I can take, and I've got 616 Endermant. I can go in here, and where is the... It's the little... I don't see it there. So let's go down there, and it will actually take me to the page that I need to go to. I'm going to cheat, so since I can't find it right now. Let's get some more of these quest items. You can see we've got 4 of 12. We're going to keep cruising down here. It's always nice when you can bring up the map, be able to see exactly where you're going, and then just click on the world. You can zoom in a little bit with the actually pretty far with the mouse wheel. Let's go ahead and get these cloth gloves, and you can see your character in pretty decent detail. Now I'd say, you know, it's not as much detail as some other games, like I was saying, but it is a little more detail than a game like RuneScape. But like I said, I don't think it has the depth that a game like RuneScape has and stuff like that. But here's another instance where you don't see everything translated. I know this means recommended level 5 and recommended number of players 3. Let's go ahead and buy that. So there we go. It's going to cost me 400, but whatever. It's worth it to be able to show you guys exactly what's going on. Let's take these monstrosities out, get those slippers. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff is automatically just equipping for me. Let's see, did we get anything better? Nope, we didn't. So let's head on in. Now, one thing I can tell you, you go into these mini dungeons, if you have to leave, this is the enter, if you have to leave, you have to spend this token again. So you can't just open it and then go freely in and out if you're getting your ass kicked. So we're going to go in, probably get our ass kicked, but I'll just die and head out back out to the outside. It's mainly just for you guys to show you a little bit about what's going on inside these mini dungeons. And you can see these guys are level 5, so they're way above my level. So we're gonna have to get tricky and do the old runaway and kind of kite them around a little bit. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to take any of these guys out, especially since I'm out of mana. Let's see if we can. There we go. And we actually got a blue item to drop. Now that's one good thing about these mini dungeons is the difference kind of that I found between the mini dungeons and the regular dungeons, so we've got the blue belt, is that in the mini dungeons, all the monsters seem to drop all the loot. In the bigger dungeons, it seems like anytime you defeat like a boss monster, they have a box behind them. And then to open that box, you have to spend the game's virtual currency to get one of these keys to open the box, to then be able to actually see the loot that the game is going to drop for you. So it's kind of cool. So essentially, either way, they're trying to get you to spend money. So do we have enough? We do. So we went ahead and identified that. Increases mana by 9. That's got to be helpful, especially since I've already been known to run out of mana. So let's keep cruising. We're not actually dying, which is really surprising. But I'm guessing that's going to change because there are a bunch of these guys, and they're throwing some crazy stuff at me. Let's take this guy out. They're actually rooting me to the ground, so I couldn't run away, even if I wanted to. So we're gonna keep seeing how far we can get. See if we can get up here and get some help out of the little orbs dropping on the ground. And we're running out of life here. So this is not gonna go very far. Let's see if we can take this guy out before we die. We did get up here. We're kind of in deep crap. Oh, but we do have an orb up here, so let's get that. Let's give ourselves some mana and get back into the fight. So you can see, I mean, like I said, pretty basic stuff, point and click. You've got a couple of different game mechanics that are different than a lot of stuff that you see on the market right now. Graphically, like I said, I think it could have been a little bit better, but I think they went for the lower common denominator to be able to accommodate more players. Player base is probably on the medium side. I wouldn't say it's high. I would definitely say it's kind of on the medium side of things. Sound-wise, pretty good. Everywhere you go, there's kind of ominous sound that gets you in the mood for what's going on and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're looking for a game like this, especially to hold you over until Diablo 3 comes out, or in between playing something like Mythos or Battle of the Immortals or something like that. Definitely a pretty good little game here that they've released. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you'd like to play or learn more about Drakensang Online, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Until next time, thanks for watching.